Dragon Ball Sparking Zero sold over 3 million copies, breaking a record. But that's not the record that you should concern yourself with, because almost immediately following, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero set another record, losing over 90% of its player base in under a month. Yes, that is actually correct. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has become the worst Dragon Ball game of all time and the first Dragon Ball game to lose almost all of its player base in under a month. This was not a gradual nosedive, because a lot of people are going to come in the comment section. A lot of games, they lose a percentage of their player base, in the first couple of weeks. No. We're not letting you do that. We're not letting you do that. No, this was a meteoric downfall, a nosedive, something of which you've never seen since the likes of the Sushi Squad with Harley Quinn. We haven't seen anything like that since then. This game, for all the cheesy little, we have anime textures, or anime graphics, right? For all that, this game had nothing to keep the Dragon Ball gamer stuck to its game. It had nothing that just kept people around, right? So all those people that were constantly comparing this game to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Nobody's playing your game anymore. Everyone left. What happened to the anime textures? What happened to this being the biggest Dragon Ball game? I told people, graphics don't replace gameplay and content. Again, this game does not compare to Xenoverse 2 in any way. Xenoverse 2 is superior, and there's a lot of reasons as to why. Talk about the fact that the gameplay is boring. I told people, just looking at the gameplay, no movement cancels, no area control, no footsies, no nothing, no real time to. Oh, we can go into a lot of reasons as to why the gameplay is actually garbage. The limits they put on the combat system are just ridiculous, and they had to put those limits in place so that the counter system looked really good. Oh, the super counter, the revenge counter, the perception, the this, that, and the other. Don't get me wrong. Under the right circumstances, those things could have worked, but when you limit the rest of the gameplay to make your system look better than what it really is, you hurt the overall game. You really did. 182 characters, and I told people over and over again, those 182 characters might as well all be skins because they all control and play the same. A lot of people don't get that. But again, when you have a game where everyone square does the same thing, and a lot of people are going to come up in the comment section, well, perfection over in Xenoverse 2, they do that too. No, we're not going to let you tell that lie either. You're telling me that when Jiren uses his dash square, it's the same as, Vegito's dash square. If you actually play that game, you know that's a complete falsehood. You know that Jiren has his own pressure game. His moveset is so mobile. He has his own way of applying pressure. He's able to get on an opponent, pressure them, make them lose their stamina, get in and out. And his gameplay is unique to him. And he's in that same era of like a Fu or a Bardock, where they all have their own unique ways, area control, spacing, getting in and out of, close combat situations. Even Hit has his own style of area control and pressure. And you really don't see that at all in Sparking Zero, because again, they've almost scripted the gameplay where everyone plays the same. Everyone controls the same. Everyone's square does the same thing. They really don't. Everyone's dash attacks, they're all the same. Everything is so linear and templated to where nobody really plays different. When you think about it, you just have normal sized characters and giant characters. And really that's it. And all of them control exactly the same. You just get a different movie for their super attacks and ultimates. And speaking of which, it's another reason as to why people left this game. 90% of the audience left this game is that all the super attacks are exactly the same. Every super attack triggers like a movie. There's no real time. There's no combo building. There's nothing that makes you want to learn this game. There's no excitement. There's no big plays. There's no opening people up. It's all the same. It's the exact same gameplay. People want to blame everything on the super counters, the Vanish Wars, the this. It's not that. Quit blaming it on that. The entire system is messed up. It's not something that can be fixed in a patch. This is something that would have to wait for a whole new franchise or a sequel at best for you guys. This game is done. It's cooked. In a couple of months, its numbers are going to be even lower than Dragon Ball The Breakers. Xenoverse 2 is still on top. And again, I say that with glee, but I also say that with a little bit of regret because you want to see Dragon Ball games better. But like right now, Bandai Namco, I think they're just counting the initial sales as a blessing because they know the DLC is going to be trash. Like you guys, and again, I find enjoyment in this is that nobody's going to be talking about DLC speculation because they've already spoiled everything. But to be honest, with 90% of the player base gone, I think you're only going to get what they've already committed to. And after that, they're closing up shop. There's nothing they can do with Sparking Zero. And again, where's the excitement? When all characters control the same, you can see why 90% of the player base left. Who's going to care if they throw in Fasha if she doesn't have an insta sparking or an armor move or after image strike when you know that she's not going to have that? Why care? Because that's what makes a good character in this game. That's because that's how flawed the design system is. If you don't have that, you're not going to get over. And also looking at the fact that they didn't give all the Saiyans their own Uzaru forms like BT3, that's also another reason to not even look forward to any DLC. Super 17, if they nerf, if all the people that are begging for Android 19 and Dr. Gero to get nerfed, if they get their way, who's going to care about Super 17? The only reason people would maybe care about that character is if he can absorb health and ki and actually be a threat and actually have a place in the meta. If he doesn't have after image strike or an armor move like false curse, he doesn't have an instant sparking, he's done. And you can already look at his BT3 move set, and he doesn't have that. He has pump up and some barrier move. That's not going to get over. That's not going to be good in the meta for Sparking Zero. So it's already done. They've really put themselves between a rock and a hard place because it is no love for them. This game is done. And here's another thing that you probably didn't consider. If they do nerf insta sparking and armor moves and after image strike, you're dooming the game even more because again, those are the things that make the characters feel powerful and to feel like standouts amongst the roster. If you take that away, then everyone continues feeling the same. That's literally the only difference between the rest of the tiers, because there's no low tier or mid tier. It doesn't matter. The rest are trash, and the characters that have insta sparking and after image strike and armor moves, they are the high tier. If you take that away from them, every character is going to feel bland. There is going to be no distinguishable difference between the high tiers and the low tiers. It's just all going to be meh tier. Like, oh, look, it's Ultra Instinct Goku, and he does square, square, square just like everyone else. And going on from that, everyone's square triangles do the same thing. Like, sure, some of the characters, they might jump it up, so it's not exactly like BT3 where the first move is a rolling hammer, the second hit is a Ki cannon, the third hit is a triple kick or a flying kick, and the final hit is a heavy smash. But still, every triangle does the same thing. All those different moves do the same thing, so everyone still feels the same. Even if you jumble up where they appear in the combos, they all do the same thing. This game does not have the diversity of movesets that Xenoverse 2 has. We don't even have to get into the super attacks, just the combos alone. Like full power Super Saiyan Broly. I'm so glad I said this in the past video. Like full power Super Saiyan Broly in Xenoverse 2, he feels so unique. Just write down his combos and the way that he plays, right? But then you look at the character in Sparking Zero, you never see anyone touch that character. And again, why? Because even if you take away instant sparking, after image strike, and armor moves, you still have to deal with the fact that some characters like Gogeta or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Ultra Instinct Goku, they're still going to outspeed everyone. So what, are you going to whine about that next? Because if they take them down to full power Super Saiyan Broly speed, then again, they're just going to be in the meta tier with everyone else, and no one is impressed with how the characters differ from each other. Like, no one's going to have their own unique play style, because everything is about getting close, square, 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 square. Oh, I got instant sparking low. Let me do the same combo that everyone universally has. They're sparking. And the only thing that breaks that up is unblockable ultimates. So then when you get that taken away, then, you know, basically everything just goes to square, 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 square. Oh, a super counter, square, 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 super counter, Vanish Wars. Then you're gonna like, this game is done. It's just done. I don't think anyone can articulate it any better, but I can break this game down to the molecule as to why it's lost 90% of its audience. 90%. I don't want to hear any comparisons to Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 lasted for years. And every time they drop some new DLC, it gets heated up again. This game could not last a month. It could not last a month. It couldn't last a month. We're not hearing the comparisons anymore. It's done. This game is cooked. It's done. It's done. It's all over but the crying. Those anime textures couldn't save it. It's cooked. It's cooked. Hold your L. Hold your L. And Twitch numbers are dwindling too. A lot of people are losing interest. A lot of people, except for maybe Game Breaker God, I think he's the last holdout. A lot of people are leaving that. Content plans are changing. A lot of people saw themselves and saw their audiences over here with Sparking Zero. The audiences are leaving too. I'm noticing a lot of people who were getting big numbers that thought that this was going to be their big break. They're having to change those content plans. They're still trying to do the Sparking Zero, rah, 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 Sparking Zero, rah, rah. They're still trying to be the little cheerleaders. But I think reality is setting in. Those viewer numbers are gone. As they watch themselves get cheesed online. And if they nerf those characters, interest will fall even more because there's going to be no powerful characters when they get everything Sledgehammer nerfed. They're in the same position as Storm 4. You had good characters, strong characters, and you had people who were complaining and whining. Everything about this game, it's just a bad system. At least Storm 4 had a good combat system. You know, it was just them trying to overbalance everything for big influencer YouTubers that ruined that game. But over here, when you have a lack of a combat system, lack of cancels, everything is just all defense, defense, defense. 1,000 different defensive options, and every offensive option you have is super telegraphed. So then all you can do is just strafe with Key Blast, wait for someone to mess up, and just go instant sparking ultimate win. That's all the gameplay is. Vanish Wars, and then people strafing with Key Blast and waiting for the chance to do instant sparking into auto win. But who told you all that was gonna happen? You might beat the game. You might beat Sparking Zero. But nobody beats the end game of all games. Hit that subscribe button and perfectionists throw those ones up in the sky. We out.